All right, man. We're here on Friday night. We're here with Tyler Galvan, a Brawley native. I grew up with him playing sports. He's doing some big things in the skating world. He's got a number of sponsors. You can see Fallen Footwear. He'll tell us more about the other ones, and we're excited to have him, man. What's up, Tyler?
What's up, Hunter? What's up, Justin? How you guys doing?
And we're
Doing
uh
good.
we're we're great, man. We already kind of like in our pre-intro, man. We got a good chop up session already. So I think we're fired up to have you. Kind of an interesting dynamic. We've had a bunch of we haven't had one guest that's similar at this point in time, man. It's been really cool. We've had, obviously professional racers, hip hop artists, former NFL football players, businessmen, freaking fighter pilots,
Yep.
like
I was gonna
so.
say that you guys even had a fighter pilot in
Exactly, man. I mean,
there.
and that's what's been so cool. And every single person we've had so far is from the Imperial Valley, lived in the Imperial Valley, whatever you want to consider, right? And our original idea on this whole thing was to start with shining the light on who's doing things from our area, and we still have a whole list of people still to go through that are
Yeah,
from here, and
exactly.
that's awesome for us. So I'm pretty fired up to sit here and chop it up with you. As we talked about, I grew up, in watching the skate culture, being around it, and kind of in the early time when it was kind of like everyone was a punk kid who actually was around that stuff, that treated them like that. But
Yeah.
so it's cool, man. It's cool to see it continuing on and obviously growing. But so for you, man, where did skating start for you? How old were you? What pushed you in that world?
Man, I think I was about 7, 8 years old, and I mean, both my older brothers skateboarded, so it was just kind of in the family, So I've always
Yeah.
been around it since I was a kid, but yeah, I mean, it just kind of got to a point where I was a teenager and I was always just with my friends and stuff, and I got to about 16, 17, and that's when I kind of hit my peak on how good I could get, and after that, I just kind of just ran with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And obviously most of the time, I assume your skating was in the valley, maybe going to San Diego or something on weekends or something to skate. But so you spent most of your time in the Imperial Valley skating as a young kid. Was that at the Brawley Park, or were you just going all around town or around the valley, or where did you like to skate as a young kid?
Majority of my time, I mean, man, I spent night and day at the Brawley Skate Park, like from sun up to sun down, before
Yeah.
class and after class. I would just sit there, and that was just my thing. It's just like, it's just, that was my piece. That was like where I
Yeah.
could go and just kind of zone out and just be me. So yeah, Brawley Skate Park was it, but I loved cruising all around the city, all around the valley. I mean,
Yeah.
we skate all around Calexico and stuff too. But yeah, man, if anyone was gonna catch me anywhere, it was Brawley Skate Park.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm sure you saw a lot of fights there. If anyone knows the Brawley skate park.
Oh man, I saw countless of fights. You see all the high school kids just go there just to fight, and then they take off and go do whatever they need to. But
Yeah.
man, that was like the meetup spot.
Yeah, there's there
But
there's been some infamous videos that have surfaced from the Raleigh skate park in the
man, even
past of.
even non videos, like I've seen some of the most outrageous stuff there at that skate park. Like, oh my god, just the most
Yeah.
craziest times.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's funny. For you, so you were kicking around and skating as a young kid. Who were some of the guys around the valley that were you looking at, like saying, like, man, like this dude's pretty legit. Like, what, kind of who inspired you locally?
Man, locally there's a couple good ones. Thomas San Roman was a big one. He was one of the people you looked at and was like, damn, this fool's gonna go somewhere with it. And
Yeah.
then Cesar Gonzalez was another one. Cameron Tate, my brother Todd Galvan, he was one of the big ones too. They were always the dudes that were, you saw them at the skate park and they were just killing it nonstop. So those are
Yeah.
the dudes you would just look up after and just be like, man, like I hope one day, I could be that good too. Now, and then now, you see time go by, and like those dudes are hitting me up like, hey, dude, like you're crazy, bro. I'm like, dude, hey, that
Yeah.
means a lot because I'm the one that watched you guys. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah,
It's cool to
locally,
get
man,
that get
those are
that
the
little
dudes.
respect back from them too, and
Yeah,
to feel that
so
like, yeah, reciprocation from your early, like, watching them. Now it's like now they're watching you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a cool feeling. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in high school, were you doing competitions? I mean, other places?
High school, no. Honestly, I didn't get into competition until after high school. I think like probably 2 years after high school. I think in high school I was just focused on skating. I didn't think about sponsors or competitions. Like I don't think any of that hit me until I was about 18 when I started getting people to notice me. Like, hey man, like you could be sponsored. So I
Yeah.
think that was just kind of the extra push that kind of just got me out there to kind of experience, contests and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. So, um, so you moved out of the valley right after high school.
I moved a couple times. I moved to San Diego when I was 21, and I moved
Mm-hmm.
back to the Valley for a little bit, and then I moved to Vista, California about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been here since.
Yeah. When you moved at any point of those times, I mean, did you kind of start like, I mean, when did you start realizing that maybe there's something else out there for you bigger than just grabbing your board and going to skate?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it was before, like I said, skateboarding. Besides that, it's always been something else. It's either work or this and that. But I mean, I think maybe a couple years ago, it got to a point where I mean, like I always worked, bonds or like little jobs, and then a couple years ago, I think where it really realized where that's like, you know what, I can step away from this, and I started working in construction as a pipe fitter,
Hmm.
and I fell in love with it. I mean,
Yeah.
the work was exciting. It was something new every day, and I think that's to myself. That's when I told myself like I can step away from skateboarding for good. Just to do
Yeah.
this. Like, but I mean, just like how I told you, I always find a way to find time, to skateboard somehow. So
Yeah. Yeah. So right now that's your day job?
yeah, that's right now. That's my day job.
Yeah. Um, and so for you, so having a full-time job and working, when do you find time to skate?
Man, usually like around night times. If I'm too burnt out or if I don't really have a babysitter for my daughter, I just go
Yeah.
on the weekends. The weekends I don't have work, so it's like I have the whole days. In the morning, I'll just drop her off with her uncles and her cousins, and she'll
Mhm.
hang out or she'll come with me some days too. So
Yeah.
yeah, usually I mean I try to find time either in the afternoons or mainly weekends or when I'm really out, and I'll be out all day.
Yeah.
And do you have guys that you take skating with you as far as filming
Yeah,
videos and stuff?
I actually ever since I moved to San Diego, I think like the first couple times, I met a lot of good friends out here. Like so usually whenever I go skate, I just meet up with them or I met some good friends that were filmers too. And I usually just try to link up with somebody, or if not, like I said, I'll just go by myself, I bought a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
kit. I bought a whole little kit so I could film myself if I need to, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, yeah, but I have a few friends over here that, I usually tend to meet up with a lot. They're usually my go-to guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you know, so you kind of referencing the video and recording and stuff like that. When did you start trying to maybe kind of create more content for yourself, trying to push content out? Did you do that originally just for your own desires, or for fun to post that stuff, or were you actually trying to say, okay, maybe I can actually show this a little bit?
Nah, I think it was more for fun at first, and then once I started getting noticed by other companies and stuff, and people just kind of say, "Hey, man, like, I think we could sponsor you," like. So I think once it got to that point, that's when it's like, all right, let me start throwing out some content now, just so you
Yeah.
guys could kind of, keep your guys' eyes out, eyes
Yeah.
open, and just be like, so. But before, yeah, it was just for fun. I used to just love watching just the tricks I would do on camera and just be like, all right, that's how it looks like. Damn, that looks cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, now it's just part of it. It's part of the sponsorships. You just got to keep up with it.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So are you talking to them consistently about posting videos on social media and stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah, we talk all the time. We're always in talk, but I mean, it's just right now. I mean, it's more. I mean, my Instagram is doing pretty good. It's just I gotta focusing more on my video parts now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got two in the works. One for Slappy's Garage's 10-year anniversary, and then I'm working on one on just a personal one for myself, just for all my sponsors. So
Yeah.
right now, it went from content from Instagram to just video parts now. So
Who was for you? Who was the first sponsor that you received?
My very first sponsor, it was a skate shop in El Centro. Actually, it was called Cheap Tricks.
Okay.
And they were around for a couple of years and went out of business. And then that's when I got sponsored by Bourgeois Clothing from El Centro.
Gotcha.
And my first big
Shout out
sponsor
Bourgeois
was,
real quick on that one.
yeah, shout out to Bourgeois for us. Yeah, but my first very big sponsor was Fallen and Mystery Skateboards, and that's when I was 19 in
Okay.
2012. I randomly met them at the skate park in Brawley. They were
Really?
passing,
Wow.
yeah, they were passing through Jamie Thomas and a few other pros, and I guess they stopped at Caliphate Skate Park,
No
and the
way.
kids,
Wow.
yeah,
Seriously.
and the kids told them, they're like, hey, there's a better skate park, down the road if you guys want to go, and they sent them to Brawley, and yeah, I just met them all then, and
You were just
the next
randomly, you were
couple,
just at the skate park, and then it just.
my plan was I was supposed to be at the skate park for like 10 minutes, and then we were gonna go film a video part at one of the spots in Brawley.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, they all just started rolling up in motorcycles and vans. And Jamie Thomas was the first one in the skate park, and he skated right past me. And I kept like double looking, and I was like, nah, that wasn't him.
Jamie Thomas
And
and Brawley.
yeah, so
Wow.
as soon as we both stopped to skate, like I kind of looked at him and I was like, hey, you're Jamie, huh? And he's like, yeah. He started. I was like, oh my god. I said, what are you guys doing here? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like out of all the places, like, but yeah, I mean, ever since then, I mean, it's been falling since. I mean, I went to the warehouse 2 weeks after I met him, and it's been go ever since.
That's awesome, man. So you guys just chopped it up there. They and they're like, hey man, like let's we want to give you boards or yeah whatever. Like I mean, how did that go?
Well, honestly, I was just skating around, and Jamie asked me, hey, you want we're filming a video, if you want to film a trick for it, like, we think you're good. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I filmed a quick trick for it, and they ended up putting it in one of their videos.
That's
And
awesome.
so one of the owners, his name is Chad Foreman.
Okay.
He's the one that really got me in. So
Gotcha.
he came up to me, gave me his card and stuff, and he said, hey man, like, give me a call, like, whenever you want to come to the warehouse, like,
Yeah.
hit me up whenever. So I took advantage. I jumped on that 2 weeks later. I
Sure.
didn't have no work, no school or nothing. So I said, all right. So I got a bus to San Diego. My brother lived in Escondido at the time. So I took a bus to his house, and then as soon as he had the free time, we drove down to it was called Black Box at the time, Black Box
Okay.
Distribution. But that's where the Fallen and Zero Skateboards and Mystery Skateboards, they all did their business there. That was their distribution. So
Yeah.
yeah, I went down there, I checked it out, and ever since then, I mean, they flowed me boards for Mystery and Fallen shoes.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
That's awesome. So they were the first kind of big one that kind of larger scale, more nationally known.
Yeah,
It,
they were the ones like like internationally like known wise that
yeah.
I was like, dang, like these are the big dogs now, So
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
were the first ones.
Who else at this point? Who are you sponsored by today?
Today I'm sponsored by Slappy's Garage, Bourgeois Clothing, Remind Insoles, Hunt Bearings, Arcade Belt, Kingsley Flour, Don Wapo Hot Sauce, and Fallen Shoes.
Love it, man.
Damn, dude.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for you, so you kind of mentioned Jamie. On the professional level, kind of guys that were big time skaters. Who did you, as a even today, but who do you look up to? Who do you model yourself after? Who do you love to watch the most? Like if you're gonna turn on something just for a little skate inspo for yourself, who are you gonna watch?
Man, there's so many. If I'm watching like old videos, it's gonna be some Jamie Thomas maybe, or Chris Cole, New Blood. Tommy Sandoval is always a good one. Man, if I'm looking like now, dudes now are crazy. So, like there's a shot where my best friend Jordan Morning's another good one. That's someone that just motivates me every time. Man, there's countless of pros. It's just, Miles Silvas, there's a lot of people who are just kind of like, oh man, they kind of just amp you up just to get out.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously there's another There's another dude from the Valley who's kind of hitting it big time in skating right now, right? Diego.
Yeah.
Seeing another guy from the Imperial Valley, on a pretty large scale, how does that how does that make you feel as far as like seeing? Obviously, there's the extreme potential, right? Like there's
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only skater in the valley, but everyone, Diego was the inspiration for everybody skateboarding wise down there. Diego was the one that pushed the limits and just kind of expanded it. Where you could just be like, dang, I can actually do that. Like, but yeah, I mean, that's my boy. Diego's my boy. I grew up skating with Diego, so everyone always knew Diego was gonna be freaking Diego. But I mean, like,
go ahead.
Like how you said, he's, just, for every skater, that's motivation. That's inspiration right there. He's the one that showed everybody, you can push the limits and, really take it somewhere.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Obviously he's had, immense success and I mean, to have his own shoe and all that stuff like that. That's impressive, man. I mean,
especially for a company like Adidas, like that's not a company that just hands out shoes to anybody, so
exactly.
you gotta be a pretty big name to to actually get involved with that. So all love and congrats to Diego. His career just he took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, no doubt. So right now, what do you see? What is your kind of what are your short-term goals right now, and what do you think that you would like to see happen in the next year or 2 years?
I mean, short-term goals. I mean, like I said, I'm just having fun with this again. Just kind of enjoying just being on my board. I think just put out as much video parts as I can. Just keep my content. Just keep my content up and going, and just keep working the business I have with my sponsors. Hopefully one day I could get a colorway for Fallen shoes or something. The sky's the limit. You never know.
No doubt about it. And that's something like, I mean, I know we talked about, if you look at the skate, like the guys from the early skate world that kind of like, I think created what there is now, right? Like think of how many of those guys, those brands and everything, how much they built, right? Businessmen, like what they are, like, I mean, obviously Chad and Jamie Thomas and Rob Dyrdek. And I mean, there's so many that created like, I mean, it wasn't just guys on skateboards and just chilling. Like that was the original fun of it, I guess. But it was like they knew, they all had like the different that mind, like was like, well, we can do something more though. There's a way more here for us to create.
Yeah, there's a lot, people, and like how you said, it's not just a skateboard. A lot of people step into business wise. They look on, I could start a skateboard company. I could start a shoe company. Clothing. So even a lot of pro skaters, a lot of pro skaters now, they stepped out of the pro light and they stepped into the business side. So it's just like you said, a lot of it's off the skateboard. There's actually a lot of dudes that came from El Centro. There's a shoe company called Circa, and a lot of dudes from El Centro used to design Circa shoes.
Yeah.
And I found that out maybe a couple years ago. Yeah, but a lot of Circa shoe designers, they were from El Centro. And like how you said, a lot of it's off the skateboard. Like that stuff, like I didn't even know. So all that.
Wasn't Circa wasn't that Chad's thing at one point in time? Wasn't he part of Circa?
It was Jamie. Jamie was on Circa before, and then there was another owner. His name was Ed Dominic. He was one of the other guys. He was the one I actually met. He was the one that told me I met him in El Centro, and he was the one telling me. He said, "Yeah, man, I've been here before. Like I'm friends with this guy and I was like, "What?" Like he knew the bourgeois dudes. That's how I met him. He was homies with the bourgeois dudes. And he's the one that told me. He said, "Yeah, man." He goes, "A lot of the people in Circa the people that started and stuff too, they're from El Centro."
Yeah,
it's like for me that was crazy. Like that's like, dang.
Oh, lost your video. There you are.
Yeah, there we go.
Kind of like, I think maybe the Valley, because there isn't necessarily a lot to do. I think there's a lot of people that, whether either skate or being a part of it, you think back, like even before, like, whatever, 20 years ago, Driscoll's was a big thing and stuff. And, doing boards and everything. I mean, it was a big, I feel like skating's been such a prominent thing here for young kids.
Yeah, I mean, especially down there, a lot of people, go to skateboarding to get away from all the troubles, the drugs,
Yeah.
and the gangs and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
know a lot of gangsters that's went to skateboarding just to step away from that. So
Yeah.
it's there's more to the skateboarding than what it is. I mean, and like how you said, even the creativity side for it, whether it's drawing shoes or skateboards, like there's a lot
Yeah.
of people that just kind of use it as a little leverage, kind of escape everything.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, the
Definitely.
skating community, man, can get a bad rap sometimes, and it's like, man, to be a good skater takes a lot of discipline and takes talent for sure.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know,
that's
you're
the
an
thing.
athlete, dog.
A lot of people look at skaters like like pot smoking punks, like, but
Yeah.
there's more to it. There's a lot of skaters who are just determined, and like, and they do whatever they can, so it's just
Yeah.
like, but yeah, I mean, how you said, we get a bad rap, but there's, if a lot of people really like kind of took the time and see like what skaters are trying to accomplish and stuff like that, it's always a bigger picture than what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you have you seen the movie Mid 90s?
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah. So I mean
That was actually a really good movie.
it's an amazing movie, right? I mean, obviously
Yeah,
Jonah Hill, first of all, killed that thing, and then
yeah,
all those guys are professional skaters. That's what they did. They're
yeah.
not even
All the actors are real skaters, So and that
yeah,
was, and for a lot of people, I know for myself, speaking, that movie reflected on a lot of people. I know a lot of
yeah,
people looked at that like, dang, they could, they could kind of resemble to what's going on in the movie. So
yeah, and that time period, I mean, that was when I was like midnight. Like that movie was when I was a kid. I mean, that as far as the time
yeah,
frame, right, that they had. I mean, that was when skating was just like becoming like obviously growing that popularity and but you see like how they were represented it in that how they were represented in that movie as far as in the society, and that's kind of how it seems like it was, and it definitely
yeah, exactly.
they hit it with that thing. But yeah, hold on, let me go get this dog taken care of real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
so we were just talking about me and Tyler have played in this big flag football tournament every Christmas, where all the old athletes from the valley get to come out and play and stuff. And that didn't get to happen because of COVID. But Tyler you had a skate competition in Hopeville or a charity event.
Yeah, I hosted a charity event out in Hopeville with the dude with my homie Jamal over at Leroy's at 4th Street.
Yeah, man, that's a and I saw some videos on that. So what kind of charity was it? Like what did you guys do?
It was pretty much just like everyone that wanted to skate in the contest pretty much just came as a donation or an entry to get into the contest. They'll just bring a toy or
That's
something
awesome.
packaged, a stuffed animal. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. But yeah, we actually had a pretty big success. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just had a bunch of people come donate a bunch of toys, and then we took them down back to Leroy's restaurant right there, and we had a Santa Claus come in and and start handing out toys to everybody.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
man,
man.
that was all that is awesome. I did see that. I mean, and the like competition looked legit too, man. It looked like there was some dudes out there that could. I mean, there were some good skaters
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of hidden talent down there. A lot of people don't realize unless they're put on the pedestal. But there's a lot of good talent out there.
Yeah, you kind of gave out some stuff too, right? Like you guys had like some gear a little bit here and there, whatever, tossed out.
Yeah, I had a lot of my sponsors kind of hook me up. Fallen hooked it up with some shoes. Slappy's hooked it up with some boards and some shirts, some hats, and I have some other sponsors hook up with some shirts and some socks and stuff, a bunch of stickers. So, a big shout out to all my sponsors for coming through for that one. A lot of them, they participate in a big way. So
Yeah, hey man, we let us know next time, man. We wanna help out with that, man. We'll do what we can
I
do.
definitely will. Well, we'll see what happens this year. If no one's down for the football, then I might run the skateboarding thing back again, and hopefully this time El Centro will have their skate park open, and we
Yeah.
can have it there for a bigger turnout.
No
For
doubt,
sure.
no doubt. Yeah, that was awesome, man. I mean, I love to see that like giving back and trying to find opportunities to help because obviously we're in an area where there's a lot of kids that go without here. No
Yeah,
doubt about it.
that's what that's always been my thing. Just I don't have much, but at least I could help any way I can to give back any little bit. It's I know a lot of kids down there. They don't have much. So
Yeah,
I know a lot of them don't even have a way to get much. So that
exactly.
was a perfect way to kind of just help give back. And at least to the skaters too. All the skaters, I know a lot of them, don't get new boards and stuff, that often.
Yeah,
So, that contest was a perfect way to help give back to them, while they gave back also, so
for
it,
sure,
it was a
man.
good, it was a good turnout.
Yeah, man, that is really cool. That is, uh, so as far as in the skating side for you right now, I'm like, what kind of, I know you posted the other day, you hit a new trick for you hit a new trick for the first time. What are you working on right now, man? What's in the tool bag for you right now that you got working on?
Right now, I mean, I got 2 video parts that I'm working on. Like I said, one for the Slappy's Garage 10-year anniversary, and then I've been working on one with myself and my filmer. My filmer's name's Javi Hernandez. We call him Coach Javi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just been trying to get out and just stack as much as we can and get as much film and video as we can. And I mean, I'm just working on these video parts until all these international contests start back up, and then once that happens, then it's contest season again.
So you're gonna try to kind of you're trying to go hit street contests, like is that what it is for you?
Yeah, I've done a few over the last couple of years. I've done a few international ones. I've done Phoenix Am. It's a amateur contest in Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that one 2 years in a row. I've done a couple. They're called Dam Ams contests. I've done a couple of them in LA, and then I think the biggest one is the biggest. It's the biggest amateur contest in the world. It's all the best skaters are all around the world to go there.
Yeah.
It's in Tampa, Florida, and I went there not last year, the year before that, my first time. But yeah, I mean, that was just just to be invited to that was an honor. I mean, just to be recognized as just to be invited to a contest filled with the best amateurs in the world. It was a blessing just to get invited. So
No doubt
yeah, I mean,
about it. Yeah.
as far as right now, I'm just waiting for all those seasons, all the contests to start back up. Once the COVID's over, and just get back to contest season.
And so, do you have someone that helps you get connected to these competitions, or through your sponsors, or how does that work?
The first time I got connected through Ruben Najera, Diego's older brother. He actually got me plugged in with the Phoenix Am people. And my first year at Phoenix Am, I did so good. They started sending me emails to these other contests, inviting me to them. So I just took advantage. I went to the Dam Ams a couple times, and I finally got the invitation to go to the Tampa Am. That's the one that's all the biggest amateur skateboarder contest. So
Yeah.
that one was just a highlight. That's the one that makes you sit there like, dang, everything I did, was all worth it. But
Yeah.
as far as shout out to Ruben. Ruben was the stepping stone into getting into those big contests.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
Love the fact that someone from the Valley could also kind of open that door up a little bit for someone else. And
yeah,
and,
he opened a big door, and that was one of the big tickets that got my name out there, and like I said, I'm forever grateful for that. That was just a stepping stone into it.
How so living in Vista and in general, like in the San Diego community, how big is the skate culture there? How big is that community?
It's big. I mean, before LA was a skate culture to be at. LA, LA was a skate city. If you wanted to be somewhere, that's the place to go. But lately, like the last 2 years, maybe 3, maybe San Diego's been the new hotspot. All the pros from LA and stuff, they've been coming out here. A lot of people been relocating out here. So man, San Diego's kind of just taking over the skate scene right now. So they have a lot of locals themselves who are blowing up right now. Like my homie Woogie, he's a SD local, and he rides for DGK, and he's pushing the limits to it. So
that's awesome.
SD's holding it down.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Do you I remember as a kid, like, because obviously we didn't really have much here necessarily in the skate, like what like I said, I mean, Driscoll's was probably the only place that really had anything. I remember as a kid, man, like it was like, for me, it was like, oh, if I can go up to Pacific Drive, like that was the place I'd always go, which is down in PV, right? And that store would be like, that's where we go to get the shoes, like that, or ordering from CCS. Those are 2 things, man.
CCS back in the day, that's where it was at. That's where it is.
I scrolled through the magazine. My first pair of skate shoes were DC Boxers, which those were the dopest shoes ever for me as a young kid. I love those shoes. So for you, what was your first? I mean, I know you got Fallen, so you're rocking with Fallen, but what was your first pair of skate shoes you had?
Man, my first ever was probably the Ellington Americas.
Okay.
They were like red toe tip and then white in the back. And then yeah, that was probably my first ever real skate pro shoe. And then after that, it was Fallen. I mean, even as a kid, you know, as a kid, that was the shoe to get. So
yeah. That's all.
And I had some Osiris's. Where do those fall into this equation?
No, Osiris is dope, man.
In there?
Hey. I actually had a pair of Osiris, the D3s, the big fat poofy one.
The largest shoe.
I used to have a pair. They were black and yellow.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh man, yeah, those man. Hey, Osiris is still around too.
Yeah.
Osiris
was pretty big for a while, man. Like, I mean, they are, but they were.
Yeah,
they were
Osiris was big for a while.
I had
especially
some
like late night Heelys. Oh
people rocking Heelys at the skate park.
Bro, Hunter's the hype man in the crew that is ripping Heelys, dog. He just
you can see Hunter right there, like yes.
Whipping some Heelys at the Brawley skate park.
he's grinding on those bad boys, man. Do 50-50 on.
Hey, you know what? In school though, those were the shit in school. You would want in the hallways. Yeah,
I'm so glad I missed that.
You would see kids just like
yeah. It was Hunter. Hunter was buzzing down the hallways, bro.
He did the 1-footers. That's what his trick was.
That's right. He had his leg kicked out in front of him, just zipping down the hallway right there, bro. Oh my god.
Sick,
yeah. No, bro. We gotta ask Randy Andrews what those Heelys are going for. that shoe game hitter right there in the Heely market.
I have not seen a pair of Heelys in so long though.
No, I just see him when Hunter wears them to work, but other than that, man, I don't
installed my Red Wings.
Holding on to the tractors, just
that's right, bro. So we were spinning and everything. I'm like, dude, we're doing work over here, man. What are you doing? Just skating around on his Heelys. Oh. No, Hunter was definitely the blader in the skateboarding group for sure. Hunter was the guy.
I can see that one. I can see Hunter on some blades.
I was on the Razor scooter, okay? Smacking my ankle with that thing.
The 3-wheel one.
That's right, man. Yeah, because it's very stable.
The little training wheels.
That's right, man. Hunter had the 2 wheels in the front, right? That one.
The two wheels in the front.
It's for my kids too. They got the same one, man. They learned the same thing. Oh man. No, man, that's dude, that's awesome, man. Because it's obviously, I think that kind of culture trend, like it, you know, for anyone, whether you're in your 40s and you were a skater at one point in time, or you're, you know, in your 20s and you're skating right now, or you're in your teens, man, it's like those guys who are the origination guys, I think, are still extremely respected in that industry.
For sure, yeah. Like, I mean, dude, there's a lot of pros that, you know, like I said, I watched growing up, and you know, even now, a lot of them are my friends, so it's kind of weird, but I mean, just to see that the amount of respect they still get, you know, and like a lot of people look up to them as legends still, you know, it's just, you know, like you know, if you do it, you do it, you know, so, you know, you got a whole resume behind you. It's just, you know, you're in there. So,
yeah,
you know, just like a lot of these dudes, you know, they went from, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, and even now, you know, they're still somebody now. So, you know, just to see the way things evolved is just, you know, they saw it all.
Yeah. So for you, if you could skate with any five people, anyone, who would that be?
You know what? One, his name is Nigel Houston. He's probably one of them. Another one would be Shad Ware. He's a pro now. He just looks so much fun to skate with. Dang, kind of everyone else I've skated with. You know, like a lot of people that I could think of. You know, I've had the privilege of skating with. You know, whether it was for a couple minutes or a couple hours. You know, like. Yeah, like a lot of pros that I could name that, I could think of, be like, man, it'd be cool to skate with them. Like, I've
Yeah.
got to skate with them,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
yeah, I mean, off the top of my brain, those two for sure, and then
Yeah.
like the other ones would be like Chris Cole, I got to skate with him, and Tommy Sandoval, that's one of my friends now, so I get to skate with him a lot.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of pros who I got to skate with that, I've always wanted to,
Yeah.
which is cool, especially the early Fallen days when they had their whole distribution. They had their own private skate park, and that's where a lot of the dudes would go, and
Yeah.
I would just kind of randomly bump into them there.
And so kind of stemming off of that, how does skating with people of that caliber, right? Like these pros, like guys that are above, like, whether or not maybe that may not above your level, but definitely have been doing it at that big level. How does that help you or push you to take that game to the next level, push you to go bigger on tricks, to try things maybe you wouldn't if you were just skating by yourself?
I think with them there, it's kind of like a hype thing. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to seem like that good kid in front of these pros, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you don't want to seem like you're a show off,
Yeah.
So I think with them, it's just they kind of push you to that extra like limit that you can go.
Yeah.
Because I've done tricks around the pros that, like by myself, I probably wouldn't have done, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of just on the hype level, like
Yeah.
just the fact that we're all there, we're all vibing off each other's energies, we're all getting hyped off each other. It's
Yeah.
definitely, a hype moment where you're just kind of in the moment. You're just like, oh, let me do it. And then,
Sure.
so definitely skating with them, it pushes you to your full potential, like, you could, you see them do something and you're just like, man, I want to try something like that good, or, see if I could even do better, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely skating with them, or, people along their level, it just kind of helps push you to your true potential.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
I'd say the same goes for like football players from the Valley. Like you go to
Yeah,
college, all of a sudden now you got 6'5", 300-pound dudes you got to go up against, and you're like, oh
yeah,
man, got to
it's a
work
whole different
harder.
story, Yeah, so yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's just all it is, just like the football, you got to put in the hard work, in order to play with the big dogs. So, I mean, that's how it is on the skate level, if, you, like I said, for me, it didn't get to a point where, I was skating with them, where I was like, dang, I didn't know, like, I was pretty, this pretty good, like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
Helps
so like
open
I
your own
said,
eyes up to your true talent of what you have. Like,
yeah, like especially being with them, like I said, it kind of just pushes you to your potential, that you don't even realize yourself, until like you're in the moment, then you kind of just think like, oh man, like, I didn't even know, like, I can even go that far, but
yeah.
yeah,
Yep,
it's just, the hard work is pretty much, the hype level definitely helps out.
definitely.
For you, man, like what motivates you? What is your inspiration to continue to kind of grow what you're doing? And to maybe continue to expand on your skating career. What's your
Uh,
motivation behind that?
Now, I mean, my motivation now is just my daughter, just
Yeah.
the fact that she could really see, like if you really love something, you can push yourself so much and work so hard at it, you can accomplish, whatever you need to, like I've took her with me to the Fallen office and stuff, she's seen them, like talk to me and like give me stuff. So, and,
Yeah.
just like I show her, like this is what hard work gets you, like if you really, love something and you're, truly dedicated and you put, all your time and work into it, like, you're rewarded for it, like it pays off, in the long run. So,
Yeah.
I think my motivation,
Awesome.
throughout all this is just, the fact that, just kind of show her, like if you got something, your potential and talent about, you stick with it, you put your guns up and, you go the whole 110%.
Yeah, man,
Yep.
that's awesome. And I was, that was my guess, was I was hoping that was actually going to be your answer, man. Because obviously, when you have something that's behind you like that, that's driving you, I feel like it's something that you don't give up on it, because someone's watching you,
Yeah.
that you want to show how to do something. Because like for you, like you're working jobs, but then still hitting this to try to do something with it too, which it takes a lot of time and effort. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like how you say, it's just, like she's been with me in the contest and stuff, so, she really sees, like it's like, all this, all the hard work I put in, this is where it got
Yeah.
me, so yeah, that's just my motivation, is just to really show her, like, like, you got a talent, you got a potential, you got something you're dedicated and in love with, like, you roll with it, you give it 110%, so
Yeah.
you hit the end
Put
of the
that time
road.
and effort in. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and she sees it, she picked up on the skateboarding now, like, so she sees, like, throughout, the business wise and out of it, so
Yeah.
that way she could really see, like, okay, like, this is what happens when you really push yourself, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's been my motivation since day one. I mean, since I first had her, and then, got all these sponsors, it just hit the ground running, just to show her, like, this is what hard work gets you.
Yeah, definitely. As far as on the trick side, man, what actual tricks like do you have? Like what things are you those things? What are you hitting right now? What are the big tricks that you've got, like, kind of, that you've just landed or you're just working on?
One of them, it's called the Fakey Tail Slide Big Hill Out. I was actually filming it for last weekend. I was filming it at a spot, and I didn't land it, but that's been the trick, right? That's been the trick right now. I mean, yeah, a lot of people laugh, because they'll be like, "Will you practice it?" But it's like, there, like I always say, there's more to skateboarding than people
Yeah.
really see. Like, yeah, a lot of people see the land, you land the trick, but they don't see, the countless
The
hours and
fails.
days
Yeah.
that, that you take to land it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one trick right now that I've been trying to land. So, hopefully this weekend we'll put in the books.
Hit that one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Can't wait to see that,
No,
dude.
no, exactly, man. I think there's a lot ahead for you, man. I'm excited to to watch you continue to kind of grow this, man. I want to I'm excited to see you continue to grow, even your own side of, like, that brand of your own, right? Like you're creating right now, and that's something, man, that I think there's so much more for you that you're gonna find with this.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm just having fun with it. I'm just
Yeah,
kind of, like I said, just, whatever happens, it's coming up, I'm gonna roll with it and work with it. And then,
yeah.
I'm just kind of hoping, things just kind of take off from here. And, like I said, just kind of keep rolling with it, hit the ground running, and keep putting in the work that it needs to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah, dude, we're on the 8th episode of this Small Town Success Show, and one thing I've noticed just about all these episodes is everyone that we've interviewed is doing something they love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always
And that's,
financial, this and that. There's tons of potential in it, but it's great to see you doing that. And just talking to you, I didn't know about the charity event you did and stuff. Like, you give back to our small community here, and
yeah, I would, like I said, I always try to, you know what I mean? Like, I always try to do something. It's just, like I said, it's all valley love for me. That's where my heart's at. No matter what happens with this, I always try to do something to help get back.
Yeah.
yeah. And we don't want to just talk about agriculture or business or music. I mean, we're talking about
Yeah,
anyone that's
yeah,
doing something
especially,
cool, man. That's doing something they love.
yeah, and that's why I love your guys' podcast. You guys shine the light on all the talent down there, like, and every aspect, in art, music, so,
Yeah.
like, you got your, you got, Donnie in the firefight, the fire pilot,
Yep.
so,
Yep.
Yeah.
like how, how you said, you guys are shining the light on all different type of aspects down there, and that's what I love the most.
Yep.
Yeah, man. No, that's appreciated. It is cool. It's cool because I think there's a lot of things that people don't really know. I got another one that I just thought of right now for you is, what would you tell a kid that's 15 years old right now that sees an opportunity in skating, that's got talent, but what would you tell that kid of how to how to continue to grow what he's trying to do? And say that kid says, man, I want to be pro, I want to be sponsored, I want to be this and that. What would you tell that kid right now?
I mean, especially now, I mean, now, we got Instagram, so it's a lot of easier for these kids to kind of, get in, in contact with these companies, so I would just tell a kid, stick to your guns, keep up the content, don't be afraid to be that kid, to bug, a lot of these sponsors, that's how they keep their eyes open, especially down in the valley. Nobody
Yeah,
really looks over that mountain, to look down there to see if there's any talent. So,
you got to make yourself
you
be
know,
found.
Yep.
yeah, down there, you really got to step out of the bubble. You know what I mean? Like, you can't
Yeah,
just kind of just sit there and just think like, oh, someone's gonna find me. A lot of times it don't work out that way. You kind
yeah,
of have to step out. You gotta, like for me, I took the Greyhound bus to San Diego every other weekend. That I can, and just met up with my friends or met up with anybody that I could skate with and just kind of put in the work.
Yeah.
So, I would just say, just step out of that bubble, step out of your comfort zone and, don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. You just, you put the 110% and, you just kind of keep it pushing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, no doubt, man. I think it's kind of one of those things, man. I mean, there's a lot of things you can take in your own hands, but obviously skating it's you, right? It's you and that
Yeah.
board, and you can. Most people have a phone, and you could record what you're doing. You can post it. You can hustle. You
Yeah.
can market yourself. There's a lot of things you can do.
It's not like, and that's the thing too, it's just yourself. It's not like a football team where you got,
Yeah,
11 other, 10 other guys,
yeah, relying
plus
on other
you.
people.
Yeah. So it's just you. Like I said, there's days where I go skate and I got a tripod and,
Yeah,
stuff like that. I'll just set my phone up myself and, just, record myself if I have to.
yeah,
But, there's no limitation to what you can do. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, man.
that's
Yep.
just, yeah, that's just the thing right now. So, yeah, like I said, it's just, it's a self thing, so it's just kind of, I think that's what I love most about it is you don't really have to, look for anyone to rely on. You got yourself, like, and you can, market yourself, push yourself as much as you can, and there's a lot of people who can make a big business out of this, and like, put as, as themselves, they could just push it, to a limit that nobody has, just like,
Yeah.
like Diego, for example, like,
Yeah, exactly, man.
Mhm.
There's tons of opportunity. You just got to go find it. Like that's
yeah,
it.
exactly.
It definitely seems like it's one of those things, and yeah. No, I I'm pretty excited, man. I'm excited to keep watching you put more content. I'm excited to watch you do more things that I know is gonna keep obviously
Uh,
opening others' eyes and I think there's some fun things ahead for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, there's some big things, I mean, right now I'm just kind of taking it step by step, but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just kind of letting the year play out and just kind of letting this whole experience and journey play out itself. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we got some big things in the work. We got some big things planned. So, we're just trying to work with it.
Yes, sir.
It's great to hear from you, dog.
Yeah, man,
That's
we're
awesome.
gonna have you back on at some point in time when we're gonna have an update at some point, see how things are going later on down the road, because I have a feeling that there's gonna be some more things ahead.
I
Um,
love to be back for sure.
yeah, man. No, we appreciate you taking the time. You got anything else for our man here?
That was awesome, man. That is
I
great to hear
appreciate
from
you guys.
you.
Thank you.
Great to
Thank
hear
you
what you
guys for
got going
having me,
on,
man.
dude.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm excited. Yeah. So that's the plan, man, for us with this right now. Hunter's the man behind the editing stuff. Well, I think what I want to do, man, we'll take some of those like dope clips so that way we connect it with people that makes sense. Bro, I'll make we'll put like some clips of your skating stuff with it, dude, and then man, I'll fire the shit out of that thing, man. I'll make sure
I
some people
I
out there
appreciate
see
that.
that. Capitalize on your opportunity when you
Yeah,
can. I mean, like you said,
exactly.
you're not gonna be the same person in 10 years from now. So you got like this window to really try to make something of this that can actually maybe bring you something back to it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, just like how you said, I mean, just so like knocking on every door, and that's right now that's what I've been doing, trying to get a board sponsor. I've just been knocking on everyone's door, like, hey,
Yeah,
like here's my video part, let me know what you think, like, here's my content, here's my Instagram page,
yeah,
and I mean, like I said, one of these days, that door's gonna crack open a little bit, and
that's
I'm gonna
it.
kick that thing open.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. I believe that, man. Like I said, man, I'll give you credit, man. You're definitely well spoken. I think there's a lot of things that you've got you got a lot of marketable things with you, man.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Just
Thank you.
keep doing your thing, man. We're excited to be a part of this a little bit with this, man. And like I said, I think there's going to be an opportunity down the road. We're going to come back around and have to talk again because new things are going to happen for you, and we're going to need to
Yeah, for sure.
to do it
Yeah,
to do
this
a
is
part
just
two to this.
yeah, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? We're definitely have to be a to be continued to this, but yeah,
That's right,
definitely
man.
be
Yep.
a part two.
That's right, man. No, man. All right, brother. Well, I ain't gonna keep you all night, man. But I definitely appreciate you taking the time, and I think we'll both have some good to come out of this one, man.
No, thank you guys for having me. I mean, it was an honor. Appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we'll stay in
That was
touch,
great.
man.
Yeah, definitely for sure. You guys have a good night.
All right, brother. You too.
You too, brother.
All right, brother.